years have passed since the Battle of Nova, where the legendary Jackal Legion shattered ROAH TECH's cybernetic armies, bringing an end to his reign of terror. The world cheered. The war was over. But peace never came. Instead, the galaxy simmered under a new threat: the Insiders, a ruthless network of ROAH TECH's surviving generals, war profiteers, mech dealers, arms merchants, and data brokers. These zealots retreated into the shadows, trading brute force for influence, tech, and manipulation. Now, the Alkalation Empire finds itself at a crossroads. The Supreme Council, once united in victory, is now paralyzed by fear of reigniting a galaxy-wide war. Every option on the table risks disaster. And so, they choose silence. From the ancient city of Terra, the Shadow Spectre is summoned, a forbidden network of elite assassins, spies, and Viper Sentinels trained to strike with no trace, no sound, and no survivors. After days of heated debate in the high chambers, a secret vote is cast. Commander Candice, head of the Alkalation League, "We cannot afford another Nova," he says. "If we strike in the open, the galaxy burns again. But if we strike from the shadows, the fire never starts." Some oppose the motion, claiming the Viper Sentinels operate outside the Empire's laws, beyond oversight, and with terrifying precision. But in the end, the fear of war outweighs the fear of ghosts. The motion is passed, the decision is made, the Dark Division is activated. From Turara's deepest vaults, names are drawn, targets marked, a silent war begins. The Shadow Spectre has one goal: eliminate the Insiders. No witnesses, no traces. 3 years have passed since the War of Nova, where ROAH TECH's empire crumbled beneath the weight of fire and rebellion. His armies were shattered, his machines silenced, and his reign ended. But his belief survived. And now, they are rising again. 2 of ROAH TECH's supreme generals have resurfaced in Omega City, a massive sprawl of tech bazaars, mech forges, and black market power deals, where loyalty is for sale and betrayal is expected. A single bullet alchemized with pure atomic energy, designed to collapse entire city blocks. It arcs through the storm like a ghost. Inside, one of the Insiders' henchmen, a former radar tech turned fanatic, picks up a spike on his radiation scanner. His eyes widen. He bolts toward the meeting room, screaming warnings. Impact. The building's top level erupts in white-hot silence. Why take one when you can take them all? Title: Ashes over Zanga. The moons of Zanga hung low in the darkened sky, their pale light drowned by the neon glow bleeding from the crevices of the dust veil. A bar carved into the rust-colored cliffside of Sector 9. Electric signs in alien tongues flickered above the entrance, buzzing softly beneath the howl of desert winds. This was a place where secrets came to rest, or to be born. Inside, the air was warm with static and the hum of tech. A massive monitor above the bar played a live feed, a city block detonation ripping through a commercial district. At the bar, a black woman sat watching, jaw tight, eyes narrowed. Her jacket, black leather worn at the shoulders, bore glowing white African runes stitched across its back, the symbol of the Jackal Legion, fierce protectors of the border planets. "You knew that was them, didn't you?" said the bartender, a voice like velvet laced with steel. She was a vision, chrome and crimson, shades-covered eyes that saw everything. Her name was Kimbra 7, but most just called her Kai. "I knew the blast radius," said the soldier without looking. "That was the Insiders' zone, underground base, no civ traffic, that was surgical." Kai nodded, setting down a fluorescent pink cocktail for another patron. "Only one group hits that clean and doesn't leave a trace." "The Viper Sentinels," they said in unison. "The Alkalation Empire's still playing war games. But this isn't a message, it's a purge." Kai leaned in closer. "Word is, the Insiders have been creeping out from the shadows these last few years, testing systems, making moves. You feel it too." "I've felt it since Nova," the soldier said. "We won the war, but we didn't win peace. ROAH TECH fell, but his virus, his ideals, they're still out there, spreading." From the far end of the bar, where the neon barely touched, a figure stood cloaked in darkness. A tall man, silent, hooded. He had been listening. Every word. Slowly, deliberately, he stepped forward. When he spoke, his voice carried something ancient, something buried deep. The War of Nova was 3 years ago, and ROAH TECH lost. But belief never dies. Even if it exists only in the mind, in the heart, it becomes dangerous. Not because it is true, but because someone believes it should be. And if the wrong hands carry that belief, the cycle begins again. Then, without another word, he turned and walked into the night, his silhouette swallowed by the doorway's light. Neither woman spoke. Kai placed a hand over her chest plate. "That was..." The soldier stood, her face pale despite her battle-hardened composure. A chill ran down her spine like ice crawling through her blood. "Jamatu," she whispered. The name carried weight. Jamatu, the legendary designer of Maratha, the supercomputer corrupted by ROAH TECH and rewritten with the Dark Code. He had vanished during the final days of the war, presumed dead. But now she wasn't so sure. She took one last look at the monitor, still showing smoldering ruins, then adjusted her collar, runes glowing softly. Without a word to Kai, she turned and followed the man's path out the door. Into the desert, into the unknown. The neon buzzed behind her. The war was over, but something else had begun. Sparks flew from the chest of the second slain insider general, his cybernetic body convulsing on the floor. The air was thick with scorched metal and burning oil. ZARRA stood still, visor glowing green, her voice crisp over the comms. Targets neutralized, confirming execution of Directive Omega-7. The wind howled across the endless dunes of planet Zanga, carving canyons through the glowing sands like time itself. The stars above burned bright in the endless night sky, and twin moons hung like watchful eyes over the land. Then came the sound, a low hum, rising like thunder inside a machine. ZARRA tore across the neon-lit desert on her hovercycle, a sleek beast forged in the crucible of war. Her black space-age motorcycle, known as the Fang, roared with red thrusters that scorched the air behind her. The body was plated in matte obsidian, lined with pulsing red runes, etched with ancient serpent scripts from her Viper order. The front of the bike curved into a serpent's head, glowing faintly with deep blue runes. Its red neon eyes burned like predator fire through the sands. The Fang didn't ride. It glided, almost floating, with a subtle magnetic thrust that kept her above the shifting dust. Every time ZARRA leaned into a dune, the hover fins sparked and hissed, keeping her steady. City of Terra, jewel of the Alkylation Empire, stands the legendary City of Terra, a shining crown of the Alkylation Empire. A clear blue river flows through the heart of Terra. Drones fly overhead in formation, painting the skies with soft pulses of ceremonial light. The people of Terra, sleek black robes or tunics lined with electric blue neon runes. Even the children, running through the gardens and along the marble walks, shimmer with the same design. Queen Petra rules, but memory, beauty, and belief. It shimmered in gold and white, alive with ancient circuitry and future elegance. Terranian guards stood in full crystal plate armor as she passed, the glow of relic energy flowing through the streets like a living pulse. Above her, towers of light stretched into the stars. At the city's heart stood the throne hall of Queen Petra, supreme ruler of Terra for over 1,500 years. ZARRA entered, kneeling before the queen, who sat like a goddess wrapped in radiant armor, her dark skin aglow with relic fire. Her eyes, lit by the relic stone, saw through flesh and time. "Rise, Sentinel," Petra commanded, voice echoing like prophecy. "Speak." "Mission complete. The rogue generals are dead. Their faction fractures." Petra nodded. Her fingers tapped the armrest of her throne. Good. But the roots grow deeper still. A new assignment, her cape flowing with stardust and rune light. In her palm, she summoned a glowing holographic map of the desert moon's southern continent. You will go to Gordiah, home of the Machine Lord Emperor Romulus. His city is steel and lightning. There, the insiders spread again, whispers of stolen tech and ghost code infecting the Gordians. ZARRA's expression didn't change. She accepted the new directive with a silent bow. ZARRA's dropcraft descended upon Gordiah, a sprawling marvel of cybernetic symmetry and brutal grace. Spires twisted like swords into the sky. Robotic citizens marched in unity, gleaming tall and wired into the pulse of the city's core grid. Gordiah was once a feared war machine that tried to conquer Zanga. Now, under Emperor Romulus, it stood as a proud jewel of the Alkylation League. Massive holograms of Romulus loomed over plazas. Half organic, half machine, the Emperor's gaze burned into everything. A red alert blinked on his display. Viper Sentinel incoming. He leaned forward. Petra's Viper slithers into my domain. Let her come. Let her hunt. The chase through the maze. The bio-warfare twins sprinted. Metal heels clashing on stone. But with every step, they crossed another invisible boundary until the final one. She activated the Viper's web. Microbeams of heat-threaded sensors snapped into place across the tunnel like invisible tripwires, primed to trigger on motion, heat, or pulse detection. Target acquired, she whispered. A single glowing line of light shimmered mid-air for less than a second. Then, contact. The tunnel detonated in a blinding wave of orange and violet fire. Targets vaporized, contagion neutralized, city secure. Mission complete. She turned and disappeared back into the tunnel fog, just as silently as she came.
ZARRA defeated the Insider Bio-Twins. After taking them down, she left the city like a shadow in the mist. Moments later, the Gordane data network surged back online. The dark code was deleted, wiped from every system. His voice rang with pride. ZARRA has done it. She has freed my people. One day, I will repay her. The Insider plan was crushed by a Viper